again, I'm Lyndon Thorpe, as you know. Maybe you've met me before, maybe you've met me on one of my courses here on Flourish Real World Global Communication. Today I'd like to introduce a series of videos about making a memo. This is really important, especially when you're giving presentations or talking, or even when you're in a meeting, to know what the main points of a meeting are. So if English is not your native language, it's a really good skill to be able to make very short notes and things that will remind you of something, a memo, to help you to communicate. So a memo is a superb communication tool. It means that you can look at your memo, like I'm doing here. I've got my memo here, but I can still look at you in the camera on Zoom or whichever platform you're using, or face-to-face. I can still look at you and make eye contact. And of course, eye contact is the most important thing about communicating using speaking in English, if you're talking to a group. So on this series of videos, skills videos, I'm going to mention many things about memos. What is a memo? There are many different types of memo. How to make a memo using keywords, key phrases. How a memo can help you to feel better about speaking in public because you hold it in your hand and it has your order of speaking on it. So it's really a very good anchor to have. But as I mentioned before, making a memo, if English is not your native language, is really difficult. So I'd like to be able to show you how to do that in this short series of videos. Okay, so I look forward to talking to you in a minute. I'm here in my study room, my Flourish study room, and in a moment I'll talk you through a PowerPoint presentation about make a memo. Okay, thank you so much. Speak again soon. Hi. Welcome back after the room talk, and now I'm going to talk you through some of the ideas about how to make a memo for Make a Memo 1. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, what is a memo? Well, I'm holding one. It's something very short, a version of something much longer, usually. Maybe it's a reminder. Maybe it's a reminder about shopping or a to-do list. Maybe it contains keywords, key phrases, or key topics and ideas. Or maybe it's a prompt. Now, a prompt is something that reminds you if you forget, and actors and actresses use them quite often when they have to memorize many lines. Okay, so that's what a memo is. Here are some examples. You can see these post-it notes and calendars and red pencil marks. And of course, memos are used by companies to circulate information to all the company employees. And so really they're very important in the workplace as well as for giving presentations. Here are some examples. Of course, to make a good memo, you need to make notes, okay, and use abbreviations. And you can see these two people are doing that. Here are some examples of abbreviations. Some are very common. Example, etc., ASAP, dollars, yen. These are all abbreviations. And we should use them. We should use them in English and in the global workplace. Moving on. So when you give a presentation and you use a memo, then you must know what you're going to say in your head. This is really important. You have to know what you're going to say, and the memo simply reminds you of your order of subject. Okay, it's not a shortcut. You can't write many sentences on a memo and then try not to read it. That won't convince your audience at all. Okay, so make sure you know what you're going to say first in your head. Bullet points are very useful. Here are some examples. Or bullet points, coloured bars. These will help you. We can use these as prompts. They will remind you to say and in what order to say these things. Also, remember that a memo is a presentation aid. And you can see here, there's a memo card, a little bit like mine, which you should hold in your hand. It's quite small, so you can hold it in the palm of your hand. And really, a memo is like an anchor. This is an anchor. It holds a ship steady. So if you're feeling nervous, having a memo card to hold in your hand will really make you feel more stable, more secure. So, as you probably know, when you make a presentation, there are three main stages. First, you have to prepare, then you have to practice, and then you perform when it's ready. So there are three stages of creation. But remember that you're not a robot, and therefore each time you talk, you're going to say something slightly different, in a slightly different way, and maybe you're going to use different vocabulary. Depends on your mood. It depends on the place you're recording in or the place you're performing in. It depends on the weather. Depends on many things. Okay? And so, yes, here's our presenter holding a memo in the palm of her hand, and she can use her other hand to use gestures and make what she's saying come to life. And so in this very short memo, what have we learnt? Well, many things, but what can we learn in making a memo too? Let's have a look. Well, there'll be more about presentations. I'll talk about keywords and key phrases and how to connect them to your topics. I'm going to talk a little bit about topic choice. I know many students find it difficult to choose topics for presentations. Practicing and learning how to improvise. Improvise means to speak freely, and each time you speak, to speak differently. And this is very wonderful if you can use a keyword memo to help you to improvise. Using mind maps, I'm going to mention in Make a Memo 2, and also how to use questions to help to make your memo and indeed to help to make your presentation. So mind maps and questions are very important if you're going to present. And then making changes as you practice. Many students think they should make a memo and then it's in concrete. It should never change. That's not true. As you develop, as you improve and become more fluent and more knowledgeable and, more communicative, then you will change. The number of minutes you speak will change. The way you say things will change. So it's really important to remember to accept changes when you're making a presentation. Okay, so thank you so much. And I will see you next time for Make a Memo 2. Thank you.